Did you know a kilogram of vanilla can be worth more than a kilogram of silver? It might sound unbelievable, but this unassuming spice with its warm, sweet aroma is one of the most expensive flavors on Earth. It's true, this humble brown spice is more valuable than many precious metals. In fact, vanilla's price often rivals that of silver and sometimes even gold, making it a true luxury in the world of flavors. Behind every vanilla pod is a story of patient farmers, delicate flowers, and a journey from tropical vines to our kitchens. Each pod begins as a fragile orchid blossom, which must be pollinated by hand, a process that requires both skill and care. Vanilla's value isn't just about money, it's about the immense effort and skill required to produce it. Farmers must wait years for vines to mature, and then tend to each flower individually, ensuring every step is perfect. Each pod represents years of dedication and a unique climate, making it a true treasure. After pollination, the beans must be harvested at just the right moment, then cured and dried for months to develop their signature flavor. The high price reflects its rarity and the complex process behind it. Only a small percentage of flowers become the fragrant beans we know, and every step is done by hand, from pollination to sorting and grading. Next time you enjoy vanilla ice cream, remember, that flavor comes from a world where demand is high but supply is fragile. Every scoop is a taste of a global journey, connecting distant farms to your dessert bowl. Vanilla depends on specific weather, painstaking manual labor, and a plant that can't be rushed. A single storm or drought can threaten an entire year's harvest, making each pod even more precious. This imbalance between demand and supply is why vanilla is a luxury good. Its scarcity and the risks involved in its cultivation have made it a target for theft and a symbol of wealth in some regions. Today, we'll travel to Madagascar, the world's top vanilla producer, to uncover the secrets behind this black gold. Here, entire communities depend on vanilla, and their livelihoods are tied to the fate of this extraordinary crop. By the end, you'll see why vanilla is truly more precious than metal, a spice whose story is as rich and complex as its flavor. Madagascar is the undisputed king of vanilla, producing the world's most sought-after beans. Known as bourbon vanilla, this variety is prized for its rich, creamy, and sweet flavor. The island's northeast, especially the Sava region, offers the perfect tropical climate for vanilla orchids to thrive. But it's not just nature. Generations of Malagasy farmers have perfected the art of vanilla cultivation. Their expertise, passed down through families, is as vital as the climate itself. Farmers know exactly when to pollinate, harvest, and cure the beans for maximum flavor. This blend of tradition and environment makes Madagascar vanilla the global standard. In the next scenes, we'll explore why this vanilla is so valuable and how it's grown. We'll follow the journey from planting to pollination and see how it can transform lives. This is the story of how a flower becomes a fortune. Welcome to the capital of flavor. Madagascar vanilla's value comes from a simple truth. Global demand far outstrips supply. Its unique flavor is essential in everything from gourmet desserts to perfumes. Food companies proudly label products with Madagascar vanilla as a mark of quality. A single kilogram can fetch hundreds of dollars, making it a life-changing crop for small farmers. Even a small plot can yield a significant harvest and steady income for years. Vanilla vines, once established, produce for generations, offering long-term security. While the work is intense during pollination and harvest, the vines require little daily care the rest of the year. For those with the right land and patience, vanilla is a uniquely rewarding venture. Why is vanilla so expensive? It's all about the labor. The vanilla orchid's flower is difficult to pollinate. Outside Mexico, there's no natural pollinator. Every single flower must be pollinated by hand using a tiny tool and a steady hand. Each flower opens for just a few hours, so farmers must check their vines daily during flowering season. After pollination, the pods take 9 months to mature. But the work isn't over. Freshly harvested pods have no flavor. The beans undergo a months-long curing process, blanching, sunning, sweating, and slow drying. This careful transformation develops the signature aroma and flavor. Master curers monitor every step, ensuring the beans reach perfection. The entire process is risky, time-consuming, and requires immense skill. That's why true vanilla is one of the world's most expensive spices. Starting a vanilla farm is a long-term commitment. Vanilla orchids need a warm, humid climate and dappled shade, often grown under taller trees. Farmers use cuttings from healthy vines, planting them at the base of support trees or posts. The The soil must be rich and well-draining, with careful watering to avoid root rot. Young vines are guided up their supports, requiring hands-on care in the early years. It takes 3 to 4 years before the first flowers appear, years of investment with no income. This slow start tests a farmer's patience and dedication. But for those willing to wait, the rewards can be substantial. Vanilla farming isn't for everyone. It's for those who believe that the best things take time. The journey from cutting to flowering vine is a true labor of love, and it all begins with hope and patience. Flowering season is the most critical time for vanilla farmers, marking a period of intense anticipation and careful preparation. The entire year's work leads up to these few precious weeks, when the fate of the crop hangs in the balance. Each vanilla flower blooms for just a few hours. Miss this fleeting window and the chance for a bean is lost forever. The flowers are delicate and their timing unpredictable, making vigilance essential. That's why, at first light, farmers walk the rows, inspecting every vine. They must be ready to pollinate by hand, as nature alone cannot ensure the crop's survival. Using a tiny hand-carved tool, they gently lift a thin membrane and press pollen onto the stigma, a delicate, precise act that requires a steady hand and years of practice. This painstaking manual pollination is the main reason for vanilla's rarity and high cost. Every bean is the result of human effort, not just nature's chance. Experienced farmers can pollinate hundreds of flowers in a single morning, moving quickly but never carelessly, knowing that each flower represents a potential harvest. The success of the entire harvest depends on this skillful, time-sensitive work. A single mistake can mean the loss of a whole cluster of beans. Too little pressure and the pollen won't stick. Too much, and the flower is damaged beyond repair. It's a balance that takes years to master. This technique is passed down through generations, connecting families to their land and their crop. It's a tradition that binds communities and preserves knowledge. Every vanilla bean exists because of this careful human touch, a testament to patience and dedication. It's a partnership with nature requiring constant vigilance, deep respect, and unwavering dedication from those who tend the vines. The result? A harvest that's as much art as agriculture and a flavor cherished around the world for its rarity and the devotion it represents. After pollination, a tiny green pod forms on the vanilla orchid, marking the beginning of a remarkable transformation. This delicate pod, barely noticeable at first, is the result of careful hand pollination, a process that requires patience and precision. Over the next 8 to 9 months, the pod slowly grows and matures, swelling in size as it draws nutrients from the vine. The journey from a fragile bud to a full-grown vanilla bean is a test of time and nature's rhythm. Throughout this period, farmers tend the vines with great care, shielding them from pests, diseases, and harsh weather. They ensure the plants receive just the right amount of water and nutrients, nurturing each vine as if it were a prized possession. Vanilla pods ripen at different times, each one developing its own unique character and aroma as it matures. This means farmers must inspect the vines daily, searching for pods that have reached the perfect stage for harvest. Timing is everything. If picked too early, the flavor will be weak and underdeveloped. If left too long, the pod may split open, losing its precious seeds and aroma. When the moment is just right, the green beans are carefully harvested. At this stage they are surprisingly odorless, holding none of the sweet fragrance we associate with vanilla. The transformation into aromatic treasure begins with curing, a meticulous process involving blanching the beans in hot water, sunning them by day, and wrapping them in blankets to sweat by night. Each step is essential to unlock the complex flavors within. This ritual is repeated for weeks, gradually developing the beans' deep brown color and signature aroma. The final drying phase can take several months, as the beans are sorted and monitored for quality. Only when they are perfectly pliable and richly fragrant are they considered ready. Each bean a small masterpiece of patience and skill. The entire journey from the first delicate flower to the finished, cured bean can take up to 6 months after harvest, and sometimes even longer, as the beans continue to age and develop their full flavor profile in storage. This patient, hands-on transformation is what makes vanilla so rare and valuable, a true labor of love from start to finish. Each finished bean is a testament to time, dedication, and the wisdom passed down through generations of farmers. The traditions and careful handling behind every pod ensure that only the finest vanilla reaches your kitchen. In the world of vanilla, perfection cannot be rushed. Every step is slow, deliberate, and essential. That's why vanilla is cherished by chefs and food lovers around the globe, a true aromatic treasure born from patience and passion. Is growing vanilla worth it? For the right person, absolutely. It offers high income from small land, with global demand only increasing. But it's not easy. Years of waiting, daily labor, and risks from weather and disease. Vanilla farming requires patience, resilience, and deep plant knowledge. The high price reflects the years of effort and expertise in every pod. Vanilla's journey is a story of nature and human ingenuity working together. If you had the right climate and land, would you take on the challenge? For those who do, the rewards can be as rich as the flavor itself.